Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to do a review of the Amazon brand Mechanics tool set. I'm going to give you a little bit of information on it, my personal opinion on the quality of it, and let you know whether I think you should buy it or not. So let's get started. And if you want to learn how to fix your vehicle, do budget restorations, troubleshoot equipment, and all sorts of other types of garage-related stuff, be sure to subscribe to Midwest Garage so you don't miss anything. All right, so I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because I know that your time is valuable, and I do appreciate you clicking on this video and spending your time watching it. So in return, I hope I can pay you back by giving you some useful information. So for starters, it came in the mail like this. And the packaging, although kind of chintzy, I mean, what can you really expect? By the way, I'm going into this review with very low expectations, and I'll explain why in a minute. As for the actual case, it's pretty sturdy. It's a little bit thinner plastic than what you'd find with a DeWalt set or a Craftsman set, but for the price difference, this is actually pretty impressive. So when it comes time to open it up, it has two plastic latches on the side and two metal latches in the front, and they are real metal, which I was pretty surprised with. So you pop these open, pop open the sides, and then open her on up. And first impressions, I'm surprised how shiny they are. A lot of really cheap tools don't really have a chrome plating, and the reason they chrome plate this is for anti-corrosion purposes. And just at quick glance, the chrome plating actually looks to be of decent quality. I was expecting almost a cast look almost, so that's nice. Some of the reviews online said that the tool set had some missing sockets, or they had, a 13 millimeter where there was supposed to be a 1/2 inch, stuff like that. I looked through this and all the sockets were in the proper spot and none were missing or replaced with something else. As you can see, this is the 201 piece set. They do have different sizes. They have a 40 piece, an 85 piece, 123 piece, a 145 piece, and then the 201. Now the prices for those I'll list right along here, and you can make a decision. Obviously the best value is to get the 201 piece, which is this one. It does come with a lot of bits, which is pretty nice. This actually comes with more bits than most mechanic tool sets, so that's nice. It doesn't have much for wrenches though. The highest it goes is your 9/16 and a 12 millimeter wrench. It does really good on the socket side and the driver bits, but they could definitely do something better with wrench sizes. So, as you know, 201 piece mechanic tool set is $65, which is extremely cheap. Some of the comparable ones would be a DeWalt 192 piece set, and that's going to cost you around 180 bucks. Craftsman has a set about this size for 170. And then you can get cheaper ones like EP Auto. Cobalt is a good brand, but also a little bit cheaper. Obviously, I'm not going to compare this to anything such as Mac Tools or Snap-on or anything like that, because obviously there's no contest there. When it comes to cheap tool sets, one thing that's often an issue is actual size and fitment. And so here's an Amazon 11 millimeter, and then this is a Craftsman. This is old Craftsman, by the way, back when they made high quality tools. So fitment looks very similar. These are both 11 millimeter, but as you can see, the Amazon Basics has a very good fit, and I'd say it's comparable, if not even a little bit better than the Craftsman socket. And I'm not going to go through and test the fitment on all of these. This is just a couple examples. Here I have another bolt. These are higher quality yet, more so than Craftsman. And this is obviously a very good fit. This is a 9/16. So if I grab the 9/16 socket out of here, once again, there's a little bit of play in there. I don't know if you can see that. but not much. I'd say the fitment on these is pretty spot on. So once again, my expectations for this were extremely low. The actual case itself doesn't seem to have any issues with tools falling out of it or anything either. I know that was another review that I had seen online, but everything seems to fit in here just fine for me anyway. Now for my favorite part, and that is the actual ratchet itself. You can tell a great deal of quality of a tool set by the ratchet because this has moving parts, and unlike the sockets and other parts, this is the thing that's going to go out before anything else. So let's compare these ratchets to a couple of other ones. So I have here 3 half-inch drive ratchets, which by the way is another thing I really liked about this set is it does come with 1/4 inch, 3/8, and half-inch drive tools. So looking at these 3, the first thing that I notice is the Amazon tool does have means of lubricating the gears in here in the teeth, just like this old Craftsman. So this Craftsman is probably 30 years old. I'm sure almost everybody has one of these. I mean, this is kind of the go-to ratchet. This was probably my dad's that I ended up stealing from him or something. But this is old reliable. This is going to be around forever. However, being old, it is old technology. And then this here is a higher quality lifetime warranty ratchet. And this is my go-to because it extends for extra leverage on those really tough bolts. And then it retracts so that you can get it in tight spots. So I love this thing. One of the big things, especially nowadays, is the amount of teeth that come in the gears on these ratchets. Now you'll see with this old Craftsman, to go a 1/4 turn, this is kind of a broad tooth because it's older. And it's about 8 clicks or 8 teeth to do a 1/4 turn. If we look at this ratchet over here, I'd say 18, 19 clicks for a 1/4 turn. So obviously the teeth in here are really fine, and that's something you want. It makes it a lot easier when you're working in tight spaces and you can't really get a full turn or a click to loosen up bolts in a tight spot. So now onto the Amazon ratchet. Looks like 18 clicks to do a 1/4 turn on the Amazon. So it's almost as fine of teeth as this higher quality, more expensive set. And that's impressive. I was actually really surprised that this came with fine tooth ratchets. As I mentioned earlier about servicing this, you just remove that and you can pull this cover off and you can oil the teeth in here to keep it lasting a long time. A little bit of preventative maintenance. The old Craftsman has a C-clamp, pull that out and then same thing, you can oil the teeth. And then this obviously has the same thing as the Amazon set. And you'll notice the heads on these are actually really similar, which I find to be pretty interesting. And so this is a gear wrench. These are a little bit higher quality, and I believe they were the first ones to really come out with those really fine teeth. But you'll see that the Amazon Basics tool set is almost similar to the gear wrench, which I think is kind of neat. Same design, similar handle, stuff like that. This is almost what I was expecting when I found out that Amazon had a tool set. There's no way to service this or do preventative maintenance on it. It's chintzy, made in Taiwan, I think. And everybody's seen these before. I mean, they rattle and shake, and if you're gonna break a ratchet, it's gonna be this one, I guarantee it. So overall conclusion of the ratchet is that it's pretty high quality. I like it, and it's got good ergonomics, feels good in the hand, it feels solid and sturdy. It's heavy, which I like. I like my tools to have a little bit of weight to them, just makes them feel better in the hand. Yeah, I like it. So since I brought up Craftsman, I'm sure you're wondering about the warranty on this Amazon Mechanics tool set. They have a 1-year warranty on this thing, which isn't a lifetime warranty, but it's also not bad when you're spending 65 bucks on a whole set like this. So I do have a couple more things to say about this yet, so don't go away yet. I just want to let you know that I do have a link down in the description right now to where you can get this tool set. And like I said, they're 65 bucks. You can go on Amazon and read some other reviews also to see what other people said. But as of right now, this tool set's been out for almost 2 years, has around 300 reviews on there, and it's totaling out to about a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So let's get to my verdict and what I think about this. All right, so what do I think of this tool set? I think that if you are a weekend mechanic, you like to service your own equipment and vehicles, stuff like that, then this would be a pretty good tool set. I think it's probably about all you need. If you work in a shop or you are a professional mechanic, obviously you're not gonna spend money on something like this, because although it's 65 bucks, it's a heck of a deal. I just wouldn't waste my time with it. However, like I said, I went into this with very low expectations and it exceeded my expectations by far. I thought that it was gonna be kind of a chintzy tool set, but I'm actually really impressed by it. No matter who you ask, they're gonna say that there's no such thing as too many tools, because although I might have tools in my shop here, what if I'd like a tool set in my truck? Or what if I need a to-go set or something like that? This tool set right here, because it's so cheap and yet has a decent amount of quality to it, would be great to keep in the trunk of your car or in your truck box, and then it can just sit there. And if it never gets used, it's not a big deal because it was only 65 bucks, and you always have it in case you do need it, and you're not pulling tools out of your shop to potentially get lost or misplaced or something and worrying about that, especially if you have more expensive tools in your shop and you don't really want them to leave the immediate area. This would be great for just keeping in your vehicle. Also, it could just be used as a spare set. I have a whole bunch of these where I just have spare sockets in here. This one right here is a mixture of spare sockets and drivers. And basically all these do is they sit up on the shelf and collect dust, but they're spare parts. So in case I lose my 10mm socket again, which I know is gonna happen, I know that I have a couple spares so that I'm not halfway torn into my truck and can't find the socket that I need. So having a full set as a spare is always really handy. And like I said, you can keep it in your truck and you're good to go. Another thing I like to tell people, and what I did growing up, what my dad told me was, you spend your money on a cheap set. So go to Walmart and buy, a Stanley set or something like that. And if you end up breaking those tools, then you know that you use them enough to go ahead and buy a more expensive set. Because if you're only going to use these a few times a year to change your oil, stuff like that, then why go out and buy a $200 set with a brand name on it where you're just paying the name tax, when this set would definitely do the trick, especially if it's only being used, a couple times a year. But I'm willing to bet you that these would probably never break on you no matter how much you use them, because if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I wrench on some stuff pretty hard at times, and I've never broken a ratchet, even the cheaper ones. Except for that one I was rattling in front of you, but those made in Taiwan tools are seriously super cheap. Which I forgot to mention also, this Amazon Basics tool set is made in China, which I'm not a huge fan of, but then again, nowadays it's kind of hard to find stuff that's not made in China. So final verdict and my personal opinion is that I actually really like this tool set, especially for 65 bucks. I mean, that's a crazy value, honestly. And actually, I'm gonna be giving this toolbox to my brother, and I'm actually gonna go out and buy another one for myself, and it's just gonna stay in my truck toolbox. That way it's there if I need it in a pinch, and I'm not pulling tools out of my shop to potentially get lost or misplaced on the side of the road or wherever I'm at. If this video helped you out, please let me know in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up, really helps the channel grow. Also, thanks again for watching this. I hope the review helped you out in making a decision whether you want to buy it or not. If you do want to buy it, link is down in the description below. That is an Amazon affiliate link for me. You'll see some other videos pop up here. Please feel free to click on them. Also, you can click on subscribe right here if you want. And yeah, check out some other of my videos. And if you like them, please consider subscribing to Midwest Garage. I have new stuff coming out all the time, as well as some big project updates for our 1977 work truck revival. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next video.